Pastor Roy Gearhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. I've always loved the work of Special Olympics, the way they work with young people and adults with special needs to enable them to have a chance to experience the joy of competition and athletics and things like that. And sometimes whenever you watch those kinds of events, you see some really spectacular things occur. It's impressed me over the years whenever I've seen those races occur where someone falls behind or someone actually falls down and the entire track would stop. All of the competitors would stop and wait for that one who had fallen to get back on their feet. They even go and help them get back on their feet, and then off they go again. That is kind of a beautiful way in which competition and caring come together, and that it's not just about winning at all costs, leaving everyone far behind in the dust, but making sure that everybody gets to cross that line. Well, recently I saw a story about a couple of competitors in a race. It was not a Special Olympics event, but it was some distance race. I believe it may have been a marathon, and one of the competitors who was in the lead, and he thought he crossed the finish line, but because of exhaustion and language confusion, he was mistaken. He was actually stopping yards short of the finish. Well, a competitor who was behind him realized what was happening and tried to tell him to go on. And when he couldn't communicate that verbally, he just physically kind of grabbed a hold of the guy and started bringing him along with him until he could have him understand that he was short of the finish line, that it was still many yards to come. And he actually helped then his competitor, who had stopped in confusion, to win ahead of him. And people ask this man, why in the world did you do that? All you had to do was pass him by and go ahead and win. And the athlete, though, said, that's just not winning, and that's not good character. And I thought, wow, what a great image of that kind of caring for others, that realizes that winning is not the full objective in life, and that there are moments, even as a competitor, when just being able to win is not enough, that there's something more to life than that, and helping a fellow competitor can be so much more important than just getting to beat them. This scripture that we're looking at in 1 Corinthians chapter 8 is so powerful in speaking in those same terms. The other night when I was sharing in a Bible study with a group of guys, we asked the question, what does this scripture tell us about God? And it doesn't seem like it speaks directly about God in many respects, but what we see is this, is that God's expectations toward us reveal God's own character and God's value. And one of the things that's obvious in this scripture is that God does not just love the overachiever, and that God is communicating to us that his value is not just to win the race. So that we saw yesterday in looking at people who become know-it-alls, that's not the highest value. But it said that the person who loves God is known by God, and that the expectation is that we would not just run through our lives like we're running a race, with the main objective being to get as much distance on all of our competitors as possible. But when we are actually gaining ground in our lives spiritually, that needs to become an empowerment to our lives to make sure that we are helping others to come along in that journey as well. And so that rather than this being a competition where you're just winning and getting ahead, you are actually growing and gaining so that you can bring others along with you, that you can turn around and reach out to those who either don't know Christ at all, or to those who are beginning to grow in their faith and help them to come along in stride as well. So as you head out today, may God bless you. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.